And the latest from the ongoing Israel-Hamas war, where the intense fighting continues as Israel offensive has escalated across Gaza.
And US President Joe Biden had a phone call with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu where they expressed concern for the remaining hostages. Biden said that it is important to protect civilians in the fighting, and he also spoke to King Abdullah of Jordan.
Well, during talks with Netanyahu, Biden reaffirmed that it was Hamas's refusal to release women civilian hostages that broke down the humanitarian pause, and that the US will continue its efforts to pursue every opportunity to free. Well, US officials earlier said that they are not close to another ceasefire deal, while Hamas officials said that chances of further hostage release is dwindling at the moment.
We're not close to inking another deal on a humanitarian pause, and nor do I have any news to break here today about the return of hostages, either ours or those of many other countries that are being held hostage. We're still trying to get as much information as we can about the hostages that are being held.
إننا نقول لعائلات المحتجزين من الصهاينة إن استمرار جيشكم في حربه العدوانية ضد أبناء شعبنا لن يعيد أبناءكم إليكم.
Now, Israel's offensive has intensified in the southern Gaza, and the fiercest fight is unfolding in Khan Yunis, which is now witnessing massive devastation. Israeli strikes are hitting residential buildings, leaving dozens trapped under the rubble.
The IDF continues close-quarter combat against Hamas terrorists in the Gaza Strip, including in Khan Yunis, eliminating tunnel shafts and the terrorists operating within them. Our commando forces are conducting raids in Khan Yunis and battling Hamas terrorists, with forces striking targets using precise, real-time intelligence.
The Israeli army has said that they have arrested and interrogated hundreds of suspects in terrorist activities. Soon after making this announcement, a video showing hundreds of Palestinian men, 100 of them, sitting on rows on a street in northern Gaza has appeared, as you can see on your screens right now. And the men appear to be stripped in the video, with their heads bowed as Israeli troops guard them. The Israeli media says that these men include Hamas militants who had surrendered to the Israeli forces. However, reports in Arab media say that they also include journalists, and that they were forced to strip and were searched before being taken to an unknown destination.
Meanwhile, the Israeli army has released another video from northern Gaza this time, and IDF says that it retrieved from the body cam of a Hamas fighter after combat in Gaza's Jabalia. The video purports to show armed Hamas fighters inside a civilian building.
In yet another video released by the Israeli military, Hamas militants can be seen firing anti-tank missiles from civilian areas in Gaza.
Israel says that the son of its former army chief, who is currently a minister in the country's war cabinet, has been killed in the Gaza fighting. And Israeli media says that 25-year-old was badly injured after a tunnel shaft exploded and later died in the hospital. Now, earlier, a guided missile attack from Lebanon killed 60-year-old farmer in northern Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that Lebanon can turn into Gaza if Hezbollah starts a war.
Meanwhile, calls have been growing to demand a war crime investigation for the journalists who have been killed in Israeli strikes in Lebanon. The US has said that it is imperative that Israel's inquiry into the killing of a Reuters journalist in Lebanon comes to a conclusion soon. Take a listen.
No bounds, so I'm deeply sorry for this loss. And it is important and appropriate that it be fully and thoroughly investigated. My understanding is that Israel has initiated such an investigation, and it will be important to see that investigation come to a conclusion and to see the results of the investigation.
And in another update indicating fallout of the war across the world, employees at a cafe in Oakland, California were filmed denying a customer said to be Jewish from using bathroom at the shop. And in another incident of anti-Semitism.
As always, yeah, great. We love it.
Not only that, while University of Pennsylvania alum is threatening to withdraw a $100 million donation to the university's business school in protest of its president's response to reported anti-Semitism on campus.